Good evening, folks. Welcome back to Biblical Britain, and hello to any new subscribers. I thank you for watching the video. And again, it's been a couple of weeks now since my last video, and it's been awfully quiet for a week. But really, I've been just given time to reflect and start to look at it with little sort of snippets coming here and there that are starting to piece all this together. And giving out a message that it's hard for me to comprehend, but I can only show you what is there. I've never done, up to 2 years ago, I've never done any coding in my life, and, never had an interest, not religious, as I've said. All of a sudden, my life turns upside down, and I find myself living back where I was living when I was born, effectively, and suddenly being able to decode things that are just beyond comprehension, really. Because the crazy part is that it makes sense, and it all does. And for anybody new, what I'm showing, what I'm running, in front of me, basically, are star constellations and the decoded message in it. I've got more to go up, but I've got two new ones under one banner, but that'll make sense in a second when I show you it. But I just wanted to sort of run, and these are not, even what I'm going to show today, are not all the constellations. There's other constellations, the Great Bear, telling us not to fear Russia, or not to fear the Russian bear when it arrives, type thing. On numerous other ones, I've lost track of them all told. But if you wish to see them, go back on the videos, and you can see that these. And the way I do it, or the way it's done, is that I take every star in the constellation, unscrabble the name, and literally unscrabble the name of the stars. So all the stars in the Boots constellation, literally letter by letter, make this the top sentence, or the top sort of decode, and they're on. I've done it with the 10 lost tribes, well, even 12 and 13 as well in that, among a million other things. But there's also pictures that go onto the Earth map that even tie with the star map as well. If there was ever a revelation, this is it. Like I say, I'm not trying. I never set out to be in this position. In fact, it defies comprehension, and I don't really. I know how I got here, but it's just miraculous that I wasn't searching for anything particular, or I don't even know how I got here, folks. But either way, I just wanted to run over these three, just to, and the main reason, because I've solved the Orions Riddle. There's a bit more to that than meets the eye. I've sort of pretty much pieced it together already, but there's something else that comes out of it that you need to see. But before we get to that, I need to make people see that this is not made. This really is not made up, and that this all connects. Because anagramming things is one thing. People have done it and said, oh, you can anagram everything or anything. But to anagram things that keep making the same type of messages over and over and over, and better still, preempt, as I'll show you. It's sort of, I do a decode, and then the following video, or by the time I do the following video, a week later, or a few later after that later, then from whatever, unbelievably, it just confirms the last one, that confirms the one before. I mean, Boots constellation is a big one, because that really does confirm so much. So, like I say, if you're new to this, I mean, by all means watch this, because and you can check back and test these out and see how this all worked. If you follow these in order, it is truly a miracle. And I'm not massively intelligent. I've had a business, but nothing special really. I gave it up as well to do this as part of the deal. But like I say, there's more in the other videos. So I just want to go over these. So Boots, the constellation Boots. There's a passage in the Bible: who makes Arcturus, Orion, and the Pleiades. Basically, those three are a clue. Now, Arcturus is in the Boots constellation. There's a reason there's Arcturus, because it's also an instruction that allows you to make a bow which you arc to roost. It's made up of 3 ancient landmarks that are near me, a place with the Carrow Hill. You follow the line and it hits this place down here called Mablethorpe, which actually gives you the answer to the Pleiades one. And there's also a passage that says, can you bind the sweet influences of the Pleiades? Well, they're all sweet influences because they're all an identification, and as crazy as it sounds, they're me. It seems, well, no, it is me. I've got no doubt, but whether people are going to believe it, I don't know. But without further ado, so Boots, so to be the herdsman. Obviously, I've got, again, if you're new to it, there's a safe zone for the end times coming. Well, the prophecy is that Russia will invade it, and I've even unravelled that. Will invade Britain effectively, going through Finland, Sweden and Norway. Russia coming down through into Britain, going through Britain into France. And then from there, well, let's go with that for now. But there's a prophecy, and this is what's coming. China invading America as well, written in ancient pyramids as well. Both of them are written in. One in Göbekli Tepe, and one in Chichen Itza, Mexico, which warns of he see it's China, come Z. Well, Z is Xi is Xi Jinping, which is China. Okay, and also there's a great big scythe from South America right up through and across the top of North America on the map that is made up of all coordinates that are all exactly the same type thing. The places all unscrabbled to make sentences and the same clues, and it all relates all to the same thing. Right, so Boots, so to be the herdsman. So Atlas Silu Archie Roos. Well, Silu, for anyone who doesn't know, is the Siluri of the Israelites, or what we've been told of the Israelites. They're actually Siluris, or Israels. Israels is a code. Unscrabble it says Siluri. Siluri is the tribe where I live, in the same place as the decoded fort Jerusalem, and they were under the King Caradoc and Siluria, who is the decoded King David. So you've got all three in one, basically. Atlas is also a last, so a last Silu is telling you, because Atlas is a message in the Atlas. It's a last message written in the Atlas, but it's the Atlas of the stars and the Earth, I think. Right, okay, so Atlas Silu, arc, and arc as well is connect. You connect something, you arc something, you make a sort of an electrical connection, I suppose, but it's to connect you roots. Okay. It says rerun Giza rank. For anyone who doesn't know, the 3 pyramids of Giza Giza pyramids. When you unscrabble it, says G is your map ID. The map ID, the map AG is your map ID. The map ID is Gymru, which is Wales, the Welsh word for Wales. As well as Cymru, but it's also Gymru. As you come into Wales, sign says cross the old Gymru, which is welcome to Wales. Gymru is also, again, it's an anagram of Mr. Guy. He goes in and possesses the land, it says. I'm assuming that means I've possessed the land by realising that my name is on it, as well as other places. Okay, so but the Giza Ankh, rerun the Giza. I'm pointing this out because this connects directly to I Take Angel, all's in the belt on the next one. So rerun Giza Ankh. Well, the Giza Ankh is... There's a code written into the 3 great pyramids of Giza: Cheops, Khafre, and Menkaure. When you unscrabble it, it says Marco, you keep Ankh, freeze H. The H is another important one, but again, I won't get into that right now. But as you can see, it's a Melin H. This comes from Melchizedek, from the order of Melchizedek, and the hidden code in Daniel: Mene, Mene, Tekel, Upharsin. And map 10, seek Melin here. Melin being Fortland Melin, which is a whole part of this riddle as well. Because you can see Jerusalem, Lem backwards is also Mel. And there's a reason for this, which is where this will go. Okay. Map pick, RIP, it you. prior to uncoding this, if you go back, you'll see the pickaxe. I think I've called it the pickaxe or something. The pickaxe, Joseph, and what it does effectively, it shows you a big pickaxe on the map of Britain, drawn with all places, names and clues. And then there's a coffin, and it is the lost tribe of Joseph, which I decoded to be the Marco Manoi. They're found in Germany, but they've obviously been scrubbed off. Coded in with the centre being at Boothwell's, Welsh bulls, Joseph being represented by the bull. Okay, this is all British. There is nothing Middle Eastern about this, just the Old Testament at all. It has been switched, things have been changed and moved and hidden, basically. Right, ID Rum's Dart. This is on the map. There's not only have I got a great big shark, which I'm going to be showing you, which represents Leviathan. Pretty incredible how I got that, but I'll be showing you that later because I found the Leviathan key, and the shark is Leviathan, represents the Catholic Church, effectively hiding the Holy Land of Wales. That's what it amounts to. But again, I'll show you that when we get there. But also in Job, it talks about Leviathan, and it's saying, first it says, canst thou draw out Leviathan with a hook? And I forget most of it, but effectively I've drawn him out on the map. That's what it is. So yes, I can draw him out. Obviously I can't, I don't know whether the map's meant to draw him out to start, I don't know, but yeah, is going to deal with Leviathan, I know that for sure, because he's right, I can't bring him down no matter what. Then, but what there is, it also says that, can they take him with spears and darts and a harbinger? Well, the dart is actually a modern day dart, as crazy as it is, and it hits the temple, and when you draw it, it hits directly on the temple in Jerusalem on the lock. The lock, and it says temple dart, or temple dart is letting you know it's a picture, because there is a picture of a lock on the foundations, literally a padlock on the foundations. Again, you'd have to go back and watch the video and see how all this unfolds to get the full thing. Then it says, rerun Sol map. This is your two pillars. The Solomon is Solomon's symbology, is the two pillars. It's the Masons, and you've got the sun, the moon, the 7 stars. Well, the 7 stars are Pleiades, so they're Pleiades ID. Then it's the sun of the moon sign. The keystone is Cancer. Sun of the moon sign in Cancer. You've got one pillar with a map on it, or an earth on it, and one with a star map on it. And what you do, basically, it's a star map, creates the constellation of Cancer. The 2 stars in Cancer at the centre are actually one is a Celis Borealis, which is a bow is real, because there's a bow that is made up that hits Mablethorpe, and then the other is a Celis Australis, which goes on Rus. And that says Celis Australis is a Silu star. A Silu, obviously, again, a Silu star. Okay. And unbelievably, the Star of Bethlehem is actually B them LH. When you unscramble Bethlehem, which is in Wales, and that connects later, because I'm going to show you something pretty dramatic with that as well. Unbelievable. Okay. So that alone is absolutely mind-blowing, considering as well that I'd already found all of this prior to actually uncoding this. And like I say, I just encode these in if I look for them at times when I haven't got a trigger, I can't make head or tail of it. Once I get the trigger, I go in and bang, this all falls into place. It's just absolutely amazing how it happens. Whatever the tetragrammaton is, or whether the remote anagram, that's what it is, somehow connects to me, gives me these codes, and then the triggers kick it off, and I just encode it. So everything this says is not what I'm saying, it's what code says as well. So this is not an ego trip, and I never ever expected to be in this position doing any of this, I can assure you that. Right, on that note, Orion's Riddle. It is a riddle. It says, I take angel, all's in a belt. This is to do again with the rerun Giza Ankh, because it's the G is your map ID, and then your 3 pyramids say I keep Ankh, and I use the Ankh on my map, on the big map of Leviathan. It actually makes up his mouth and the tangled hook in it as well, which is also written into the can't they draw it Leviathan with the hook or something. And but either way, again, this all connects. I take Jerusalem. So firstly, it's confirming that it's called Jerusalem. And it is called Jerusalem because, well, like I say, we'll go into a bit more now of how you get to that, but it clearly is Jerusalem, the real one. And it's the pin in the centre of this whole thing to prove that everything we've been told is a lie. The New Testament is a complete and utter lie, all of it. Right, I take Angel, Oars in a Belt, I take Jerusalem, I beat all tricks in a map. Messiah, okay? Right. What I'm going to the point of showing this is mainly because this part here, I take Jerusalem. There's a massive code. It's mind blowing, really. Bearing in mind this word on the end, Messiah, as well. And again, what I'm going to show you is what's there. How I got it is a miracle in itself. Okay. Before I do, the Pleiades. It says, canst thou bind the sweet influences of Pleiades? Firstly, Pleiades is please ID. Okay, there's a lot more to that as well, to do with the seven sisters. I know that says 7, 6, 7. There's some connection there with the message when you join the other stars. I haven't quite got it yet. But Pleiades, please ID. Plei-1, this is again made up of all the stars. These are all the stars in Orion, all the letters in the stars in Orion. These are all the letters in the stars of the Pleiades. So Plei-1, all CE1 on Atlas. Atlas, Siu, Archie, Roos. Well, I'm all over the Atlas. Mr. Guy Gumry, and a guy surname I in Guyana, Suriname. There's a message there. Oh, my name just everywhere. I know I don't get it, but it's there. Okay. Plei-1, all CE1 on Atlas. I am, and I don't say that lightly, but clearly it's saying, like Moses said when he was freeing the Israelites, he had to say to them, I am, and I am sent me. I am, I'm not sure what exactly the I am is, but it is, I am an ark elect. Ark being, he says he puts the ark in the heart of the person or whatever, or the people, I'm not sure, when he does it, so that they'll know that he's the God, and there won't be any reason to, I'm not sure on the backing of it, but I am ark elect. I am ark elect. So an I am ark elect. Elected one of the ark, I guess. Right, now he says, can you bind the sweet influences? Well, you need a rope to bind something. So the two, effectively, the core of these two are merope and sterope. And obviously both got rope on them. When you unscrabble it, it says, he set me a rope, get rope at. Now, to find the place where the Pleiades sort of clues onto the map, you need to draw a bow, like I say, and I've done all this on the sweet influences of the Pleiades. It's Orion's bow, and it fires off, basically. You follow the arrow line, the line of the arrow, straight through Landmelin, the male part of Jerusalem, that male part. You follow it, and it pinpoints Mablethorpe. When you unscrabble Mablethorpe, you actually get the answer to what you got to ID. So it says, he set me a rope, get rope at. And then Mablethorpe says, rope be at Mel H. So pretty stunning that it not only to unscrabble all this, and I've done this in probably less than a year, most of these they're far less than that, actually, the star codes, all these big ones. They're probably months, if anything. And I don't, I'm not, I'd like to say I'm intelligent enough to do this, but this is impossible. And for it all to fit, and as you can see, this all connects to everything on there. And what I'm about to show you after this connects directly, all to the same thing, over and over and over. We're in troubled times, people. There is a safe zone. And like I say, I just, know that this is the Creator proving that he laid things out. Because all this was there long before I was born, and my name crops up everywhere. Well, if you've been watching these videos, you'll see it. And that's not me on an ego trip, because really, I just want a peaceful world. And I don't want anyone to be, other than, the bad guy's going to get their comeuppance, and there's some evil in this world. But yeah, anyway, right, I'll just pause you a second so I can get the next constellations up. Okay, guys and girls, I hope you can see this. To explain this a little better, it's probably if you've not watched the last video, it's worth watching. Right, and there's a reason for showing this, even though I'm going over something I've done already. I just did this. Really needs to be seen to be believed. Right, because I've uncoded the constellation. Right, let's start from the beginning. We got this symbol basically. Which is found on Masonic buildings. It's obviously an ancient symbol. Whether they know what it means, I really don't know. But I clearly have worked out. Well, like I say, I don't do it myself, but I know what it means. What you effectively what you've got is CMELIN. So you've got C Melin. Right, Melin, Clan Melin is the second fort that makes up the Mel part of Jerusalem. Sorry, Jerusalem. Lem on the end is backwards, is Mel. Okay, it's the second fort, the original fort of the Silures. They moved down and they've obviously taken the star constellation Jerus to name the fort, the second fort, and then added the Mel, I think, as you know, well, for whatever reason, just to tie it with the old Mel, which was was called Clan Melin. Sorry, that would be an L, but this C overlays the L. Instead of it being a double L, it puts the clan back in instead of a church. Church in Welsh is clan, double L, but it's not. They've changed them from clans to clans. This is why they're all over Wales, and obviously built churches on the clan lands, and obviously this is the curse, I'm afraid, is Christianity, whether anyone wants to believe that or not. Right, the message in it is I, Siluri Angel, see Androgenesis. This relates to the safe zone, which is your Cancer constellation, which would be fit in the triangle. Right, without going too deep into this, because otherwise I was going to be there, but Z represents the last letter of the alphabet, so end regenesis, because it's got to be an end to what our current civilization as we know it. The bad guys are going to be gone, and there's going to be a regenesis. Z just signifies the last letter of the alphabet. It's all to do, this whole thing is to do with word and alphabet. You know, the word in the beginning was the word, and well, you know how it goes. Right, the G goes there, the H goes there, and there's obviously a crown on top. Crazy, because I've obviously encoded that I am the secret H man. Which again, you have to go back over it again, but I'll try and run a little bit of it towards the end of this video, because well, I will have to anyway, because something else will come up. Right, so you've got the secret H-man wearing the crown. I, Siluri Angel. Siluri is my tribe. I'm the angel. Angel is a messenger as well, so and obviously he calls me an Atlas angel a lot of the time, which is an angel being message or messenger would be a last messenger. And I am, and obviously having the safe zone coordinates, which is Cairo, Jerusalem. That's where everybody needs to go when the Russians arrive. But there's something to come bigger after the Russians, I can assure you. But get to that point and you'll be safe. That message is made up by the tribe 3, 9, the decoded tribe of lost tribe of Israel 3, 9, and 8. Desi Angli, Siluri, and the Regnensis tribe. When you unscramble the letters of all those three, this is what it gives you: Siluri Angel, C, Androgenesis. Then you put the C, you put the C and overlay the L in Clan Melin, and then you've got your David code, which is weird because there's an original King David, and then there's a David that comes back basically, but obviously it's not actually a name; it's a code. David is Karadak, an ark of God, an unscrambled ark of God, a divine identification. But what you've got now for the second David is add VID. Add VID. So you add the V to Clan Melin and you get Clan Melvin. Now this, like I say, it gets bizarre because my grandfather's name was Melvin, my father's name was Melvin, and my name in Welsh would be Marco ap Melvin, Marco son of Melvin. So you've got a full Melin line. It's also a Mel is also an anagram of the elm. So this is the tree that was ripped up from its roots and then replanted and grows great vines and whatever else, you know, the biblical things that go with it. Okay, Taurus. There's again, I've got to show you this to go back through just to show you how all this connects. Right, Taurus. You ran Guyana map and Mel that I hid in. Bran a league. Well, Bran rules from land Melin as well. So that's just clearing up that this Melin, because this place here is called Bemel. Or Bemel. When you split it up, it's Bemel. And just by here is a place called Marco. Incredibly enough, believe it or not. This place, I won't write more on, but this place is called São Luís, but it's so I'll tell you what they are, you can check them. Soacilu, this says Fortaleza, this is Sila Fort, this is Guyana City, which is a Guyana City, obviously G Roos is the city, this is the fort that connects to it. Then this is Guyana, a place called Suriname, a place called Roraima, and a place called Amapa. When you tie it all together, because he says it in Isaiah somewhere, I forget which passage it is, but it says, and I surnamed thee before you were born. Well, this says, Anagai, surname I, Roar I am a Mappa. Then it's Marco Bemel. Well, this connects directly to you ran Guyana, because this is Guyana, that's actually the country of Guyana, but this is the top of South America. You ran Guyana map and Mel that I hid in Bran a lead. G Roos the crane, this is Sila Fort. G Roos is the fort, the original fort, which is Coent, decoded Jerusalem. Obviously then you attach the Mel, obviously you put it all together. This is leading somewhere else, somewhere as well. Right, okay, I'm going to lose that one a minute, but that's how the one leads to the other. The Tau leads. I get this. Then I got the Taurus constellation. Tau Roos. Tau also means completion. Completion at Roos. So it's also showing you the Z, and the Tau is also the final letter of the alphabet, the Hebrew alphabet as well. But it's actually called Tav. But that says Advi as well. But it's known as the Tau. Okay. Right, G Roos. Now this is where it gets incredible, because G Roos, the actual constellation of the crane, they now discover, has got a fantastic message in it. Well, it's got two actually, but well, absolutely impossible. Right, what I'm going to point out is, right, I'm going to read it first before I write it down. What it says, G Roos, you've got stars Al-Hanab, Tayaki, Al-Nir, Glais, and Tau 1. Now, when you unscrabble this, it says, take a seal. That's the seal. It's the seal of that's the seal of Solomon, but it also ties with the seal of Melchizedek, because that's the Melin code as well. Take a seal. It says GH on a Tau. GH on a Tau. This is the Tau. And this head is made up. This is the Ankh. The Ankh is the Egyptian. This is like coming out of Egypt, putting on new clothes. He says, "I give you new garments." You put the new garments on. This gives you the Tau. It gives you, and it effectively creates an angel, I suppose, or well, I don't know. Well, I sort of know, but I don't really want to say it. But I'll let you work it out. Right. Take a seal. GH on a Tau. It's right now. It says bind a lie, lie in, and it leaves a question mark. Okay, I'll just write these up, because anybody wants to pause this so they can check. In fact, bear with me 2 seconds. Let me just pause you a second, guys and girls. Okay, guys, so there we go. We got these are the name of the stars. The only difference is Tau 1 is Tau with the 1. All I had to do is change the 1 to the word 1, because it's all about word. Once I unscrabble, then it says take a seal, GH on a Tau, G H on a Tau. This is your G and your H. Bind a lie, liar in Rome. Okay. Bethlehem is be the male H. I'll show you what that means now. In a second. Let me just check that I've got everything. Right, okay, I'm going to just pause you there, because there's a second message. This is the constellation of G Roos. Obviously, Taurus led me to G Roos. G Rus now confirms Taurus, or the Tau at Rus, or the Tau at Rus and Mel, or the Tau at Rus Mel with Clan Melvin, and the G stands for Guy as well. Clan Melvin Guy. Like I say, my grandfather was Melvin Guy, my father was Melvin Guy. I would be Marco at Melvin Guy, effectively. That would be my Rus name, which is reversed as a surname, which becomes apparent in a moment when I show you something else. But I'll just pause you a second. Okay, folks, all right, now it gets really crazy. Right, the constant, right, and again, how this come, I find this stuff, like even in 9 days, an absolute miracle, but it's not even that long, but either way, this is what came up. Okay, G Rus. The constellation of G Rus used to be made up, well, it used to be a lot bigger and was split into 3. But its original name was Argus Navis. Right, now this one, I put it at the bottom because this becomes apparent in the breaking of the Orions Riddle. But I'll just show you what it says. Effectively, it says as in a G Rus V. So we know that this V connects into G Rus, and I will show you how that works in a second when we break the Orions Riddle. But the 3 stars that it was made up of are Carina, the 3 constellations it was broken into are Carina Pupis, or Pupis, or whatever it is, and Vela. Right, amazingly, now we were just on about the seal and the Tau, and I said it was Clan, and this, I'll cut it short, but it's Melvin, and there's your G, and there's your H, and there's your, even if we do just the Tau without the Ankh, if you connect the Ankh and the Tau, put the words together, and actually as grab that, it says a thank you as well. So obviously it's thanking me for doing it. But what you've got is, right, it says see a pair. Well, your pair are your G and your H. There's your G and there's your H. Then also the loads, this the lock and the key for the safe zone, Grusalem and the Melin H. The lock and the key, obviously I'm the one that's unlocked the key and found the safe zone and decoded everything, but how that was is beyond me, but I did it. Pin up V, there's your V, so it's add VID, that's your David, so you pin up your V and that gives you your Clan Melvin, your G and your H. Then you've got seal it, but it also comes from a seal because it comes from the Seal of Solomon with all those letters and numbers I just showed you. So as you can see, there's absolutely no way on earth that all this absolutely connects the way it does. It's impossible. And it's got my family written all over it. I think they're the rightful, well, they're from the line of David, which would be from the line of Craddock, Coelin at Bran being Solomon, and Bran the Blessed being obviously, well, I don't think he's Abraham, but I think he's from the line of Abraham. If it is Abraham, I do wonder if it's not Abraham. Ab is father, but I'm just thinking out loud, so don't take that as read, but you can see where I'm going. But what we've got to do now is, okay, so in fact, we'll keep, let's just do, hold on, I'll just hold you a second. Okay, right, just to show you, right, as in a G Rus V, again, I'll come to this. This is not quite where this is, well, it's partly where this is going, but right, so what we've got is, I take angel, all's in a belt. This is Orion's Riddle. The first line is I take angels all in the belt. So you take the angel all in the belt. Well, the belt, or the Orion's belt, this reflects down onto the 3 pyramids of Giza. Giza pyramid is AG is your map ID. My map ID is Gumri. When you anagram it, it's Mr. Guy. Okay. The 3 pyramids in the 3 pyramids of Giza are called Cheops, Khafre and Menkaure. Not Khufu, this is a lie, and I'm going to show you, but that actually is just to show you that they know that somebody's onto this. But if you take, that's Khufu, so the supposed Khufu. Well, I don't need I say anymore, but obviously they've put this aside, said this is, they're making out this is an alternative name, but it was the tomb of Khufu. Well, it really wasn't. It's actually an insult, but there we go. Just to show you that this is what they've done. So somebody clearly knows what they're doing with this, and they've obviously meddled with it and hide stuff. But anyway, we take the real name, Cheops, Caffrey and Menacure. Marco keeps Ankh, U3H. We've got the H again, and we've got the Ankh. There's the Ankh. The Ankh is there, freed the Ankh. And then, sorry, keep the Ankh, because I used that on my map drawing. The first map I did makes up a battle bow. It gives you a complete message. Seek, key yes, seek, winds nod, I am Welsh, is true. Again, like I say, to go into this would be all day, but okay, so you've got the keep, there's the Ankh, so Marco keeps Ankh. Bear in mind, this is also confirmed in the Boots constellation, where it says, which I got after undoing the pyramids, and it says, Atlas Siluat, Rus, rerun, keep Giza Ankh. So it doesn't say it in one constellation, it says it in, well, it's backed up by another constellation as well, because Boots seems to be a sort of, I don't know, like a confirmation of different maps a lot of videos have done, they did prior to unraveling the code. Right, okay, so as you can see, the point with all this, of showing you this, is that all this connects up, and you can see now, so we've got this, it's connecting to Taurus, G-Rus, Gumri, well, obviously my name's all over it, but this is all right, right, Pleiades is all about, see, you've got Orion, in a row, you've got Orion, Taurus, and the Pleiades, and the Orion and the Taurus make the Tau, which makes the angel, or what, the thank you symbol. You got those two when you connect it, those two, and the last one is this star constellation. So it goes Orion through Taurus and into the Pleiades, or Pleiades. I'm not sure where you spell it. I don't know, something like this. That's wrong. But the Pleiades, but effectively the Pleiades, when you unscrabble it, it says please ID. So this is all about IDing, well, IDing me, that's what it's about. Obviously all planned out, as you can see, there's no way on earth that this is coincidence. Right, Orion, so you got your, this is your Ankh, that's your Tau, so you also get a thank you, please ID. Well, you must have, I guess the thank yous for sticking to my part of the bargain. However, right, let's get to, right, so as you can see, this is all about a name. Well, it is about IDing somebody. Right, there is a code, a hidden code in Jerusalem. I have touched on it, but this is where it gets absolutely crazy, and what I'm about to show you is what the code says. I'm not saying, this is the good thing about this, I don't have to say this, this is not an ego trip, I really don't want anyone to think that for 1 minute, because I'm more surprised than anyone about all this, but although I'm getting a little bit more used to it. Right, what you have is, actually I should have taken that off. Right, Argus Navis, as in a G-Rus V, as in a G-Rus V. Okay, so this is coded, this is Argus, this is the original name for the entire constellation of G-Rus. Okay, so when you unscramble Argus Navis, it's as in a G-Rus V. Okay, the reason for showing this is because you've got Jerusalem. Okay, what we're going to do is turn this in reverse and fill in the blanks. Grusalem. Backwards, forwards with the added letters, and I'll show you why they're there. Melvin, a surname G. Well, as I said, my father's name was Melvin. Well, obviously this would be Guy. The G stands for Guy. That's why it's got all the name in the other. As in a G-Rus V, that's why you're adding the V into G-Rus or Grusalem. Add the V in. So as in a G-Rus V, because Canis, the others, the three it was split into says, see up here, pin up V and seal. Again, it says pin up V to put it on the Tau. Then the tale relates, obviously, Llanelin or Clan Melvin relates now back to this. So you've got the Avis Navis as in a G-Roosh V. It's telling you that to put the V fits into the Jerusalem code. Right, what you have, the added to a VIN name. Now, I know this is going to sit uncomfortable with many, but it is what it is, and I don't even want to say this, people, but I just want the truth, and like I say, this has been a voyage of discovery for me. But effectively, Jesus states he is the true vine. Is he? The vine of David and the vine of the Siluri, the vine, and the tree that the uproots and replants is the elm tree. When reversed or changed the elm is also the mel. So you've got the elm tree and the vine, and this is what all the tree talk in the Old Testament is. And funnily enough, there's oak, cedar, there's all these different trees, but the elm doesn't appear anywhere. And I think that has either been taken out or it might be deliberate so I know to code it. But the replanted tree that brings forth new fruits and some, and grows and whatever, that clearly is my family and it's me. I must be the true vine. And the true vine is the elm tree, the mel tree is also the family tree that was cut off after Solomon messed up, I think. I'm not sure, but obviously history from there on has just been faked, and that's why this has all been hidden. Because if they knew what half of this meant, they would just took it out. They've adapted. I can tell you now, that Old Testament has been butchered. And I'm not even sure that hasn't been put together out of a lot of more ancient coded books, because there's stories in there that go back to older books as well. I say that, we don't really know when it was written, but either way, whichever, I've been shown that this is why this has all been done through maps and everything else. But the Jerusalem code is Melvin, a surname guy, Vine Man guy. And then this explains the crown as well, because I think this is the Welsh have got a thing about, obviously they ruled, they were the Israelites, what we know as the Israelites, Siluria, and the land of his rule. It's the land of his rule, not the land of Israel, and it's the land of Israel. Israel is Siluri. It's the Siluris. And that's all the Old Testament. There's so many biblical names still in the Old Testament that are in Wales. Bethlehem, Horeb, Gilboa, Sodom, Hebron, Carmel, which is Archmel as well as Archmelin. That's another one, but I won't get into that right now. Okay, I'm just going to pause you a second. Okay, just another quick one that I also got was, I got this one before, but I wasn't sure where it fits in, but I thought I'll put it up there anyway. Okay, so all I've done, all you do is change the V and the F in Welsh is interchangeable, so this would now be Devon for Devon. It's Cornwall, Devon, fed corn on wall. Well, I live right opposite the wall, and that's what he's talking about. It's fed corn. Corn is good corn. Information. I think the corn is part of the information. It's just the is corn. That's everything is corn basically. So when you keep getting something like that over and over, like 7 is G. There's H's everywhere in the Old Testament. Everything ends in a H. But I'm sure there's a lot of that. There's so much more code in there but I don't know. It's just given what's important, I'm guessing. Right, Somerset, Avon, and Monmouthshire. So they're literally across the board. So you've got Somerset and Avon on one side, Monmouthshire on the other. But when you change Somerset, Avon, Monmouthshire, it says sets a Rome V on Monmouthshire. Right, so not only have you got obviously this is the V, but it's a Rome V for a reason. Because this relates to the Clan Melvin again. Right, V is 5. This is the Roman. So a Roman V is 5 equals V. Okay, the 5th decoded tribe are the Kasi, from Cas Newydd, which is Newport, or is Cas, with Newport's name in Welsh is Cas Newydd. Okay, these are the lost tribe, and nobody knows it. And I'm telling you, you won't find this in history books. Nobody's got a clue where they were from. Well, I can tell you where they're from. They were the Cassi that became Cas. Okay, and I think that story is actually the Book of Maccabees. If you check the book, there's something about Book of Maccabees, and I'm sure that's just been butchered again, but I got a feeling there's truth to that, because it says Maccabees became Cas, and it's all about the I'm not sure if the Israelites, so basically taken into bondage and slavery, and basically the destruction of Jerusalem. So obviously it's made out to be a foreign country, but this is where the Catholic Church has butchered and hidden everything. But their time's coming. Okay, right, now what is the code in this? So the Roman V. So number 5 is the clan of Issachar. It's Isaac reversed as well. They've changed the spelling of Isaac and made it double A. I-S-A-A-C. They've lied, because it's not, because it's Cas. They're lying for a start off, but that's another story. Okay, so in Issachar, we've got R-I-S-C-A. We've got Risca. Risca is just outside Newport. Then we've got I-S-C-A. This is the Roman name for Kalian, which actually was called Isca Silurum, or which would be Isca Jerusalem, Iscas Jerusalem. So it would be like the sub-tribes got their own little town that I think carries the name Jerusalem as well. Okay, then you've got the last one. Then is Iscas A-H. Yeah, has been used up in Risca. You can double use these, but Iscas A-H. I'm assuming the A goes there, I'm not sure. It could be Iscas H, but either way. But you've got Risca, Isca, and Iscas H. So how is this relevant? Well, Melvin App, I think, isn't, I'm going to put Rob, I'm supposed to think it was Robert, but this is the replant the mel tree here, or the elm tree. The mel tree is the elm tree. This is the replanting, the new root that takes, well, the one that takes roots. My grandfather, Robert Guy, I'll put Rob, that'll do for now. Rob Guy. Okay, so you've got Melvin Rob Guy, and he was born in Risca, funnily enough. Now, Isca is Melvin, now this is, I made 4 too many Melvins. Melvin Melvin, because my father's name was Melvin, even though he went by John. His real name was Melvin. His name was Melvin Melvin Guy. Then you've got Iscas A-H. Well, that would be Marco Melvin Guy. So this is where your G-Roos backwards is Melvin, a surname G. Just using the Roman V as the number 5 as well, because we were all from the tribe of, well, technically we were the tribe of the Cassi. The Cassi were a sub-tribe of the Siluri. They were effectively one, but they kept their own identity, the Cassi, for whatever reason, or they did. I don't know what happened altogether, but obviously they're a lost tribe and so on and so forth. But as you can see, it's Risca, Isca, and Iscas Cas is a H, I think. Because I'm the one that was born in Newport. Funny enough, and the Royal G Went, the Royal Gwent, because Gwent is obviously coded as well, because that's G Went. The city of Jerusalem is in G Went, because the G Went, they changed it, called it Ventus Ilurum, and then I've had to uncode it, and from there. But this is Cas is a H, I guess. Whichever way you look at it, this is the code written into all of this. So yeah, Somerset, Avon, Monmouthshire, set to Roman V on Monmouthshire. Add VID, it's add VID David. If you add the Roman V, it's 5, gives you the tribe of Isca. The lost tribe of Newport gives the 3 birth of the Melvin, which is a mel tree, or when you switch it, it's an elm tree. ID Vine or divine, because that's what divine is. Divine is ID divine, divine of the Siluri. And then you ID the, oh, there's another one. I better do this while I'm at it. Right. I don't even know how I see this stuff sometimes. Right. Oh, this is all right. I don't want to do this one, but I'm going to. Right, the coat of arms for Newport has an angel on the, an awful drawn angel on the top. Funnily enough, it has some sort of shield with an upside down V. I've given that one away. Okay, this V is red. This is either gold or yellow, but well, I know it should be. It's gold, gold, yellow, represents the same thing. But yellow in Welsh is melyn. Melyn, which is also the Welsh way of saying, well, it would be Melvin without the V, but obviously you add VID. Okay, it's very unique. This coat of arms for Newport, it's very unique for two reasons. One, it's got this inverted, and normally chevrons are this way and there's more of them. But this one, and nobody knows why, is pointed down. Well, I can tell you because it's a V and it's in red for a reason. Red represents Wales. I can tell you that now. Oh, right, and this is Cass Newydd in Welsh. It's the home of the Cassie, is Cass. Right. Let's just say it's the Cass red. So the Cass Newport red, but it's also, when you switch it, sacred. And it's the one of, well, I don't know whether it's the only one. I was the only one of two or something maybe, but it's very unique in the fact that it has a downward. So you've got the sacred red of Melyn or Melvin, and then you've got an angel on the top, and that is and then well, I think of it. Well, I better do it all. On this side, you've got the dragon. I can't do dragons. I don't know. There's a dragon, but this thing has got a tail on it. In the Bible, it says about the dragon in the sea. This is showing. This is what's on there, and the other side is like a golden. This is my drawing. Goes pop. There's a lion, which is the lion. Why you add a H? Oh, that is an absolute terrible drawing. You get the pic. I think you get the picture. This basically is a lion on this side, doing the same thing with its sea. In the sea. Now this represents maritime law. And when it says about the dragon in the sea, this is what it's in reference to. Also, the whole thing is maritime law. Right, I think I may have to call this a day, because if I go any further with this, I'm going to run out now. That's amazing. I'm not kidding. 2 days ago, I was worried that I was not going to have enough to put on here. Now I've got too much. Yeah, I'm going to leave the other one for now. But as you can see, there is no way on this earth that this is coincidence. And as I said, I'm not trying to make myself into be anything. I'm living in a caravan. I'm humbly living. I'm doing I'm not out to make money from any of this. I do, I work. Well, obviously I do it. I'm obviously making videos once a week, as best I can. But I'm meant to be here. This place is Marco's H, where I work. Just so anyone who hasn't watched this before. Eastleigh's Caution. I'm going to put the crown on it because it clearly is me for whatever reason, but there we go. So, like I say, people, this is not coincidence. I put, you know, there's a safe zone in this. The times this, what I'm telling you is coming. I know it is. There is no way that all of what I'm showing you is coincidence. It is absolutely impossible. And if, well, if I'm wrong, I should get. I'll get an award for making something impossible out of nothing, absolutely nothing. And I don't read books on this or anything. I don't even look for it really. Occasionally I'll have a go, but it's pointless because I won't get it until it triggers me to go to what I need to. And then, oh, one last one actually. I just remembered. Where are you? You got G Rooster Crane on South, or the constellation of the Crane as well, and a guy, surname I am a mapper. America, the whole, well, I assume it's the whole, it was certainly South America, all the pyramids and all, which I've decoded them as well, Teotihuacan and whatever it's called, all these ancient messages. This was called, known as Mesoamerica. It says, I show you things in ancient times so that when they come to pass, you'll know that I did it, because I am your God, I am your Saviour, there is no other. Okay, so, and I'm not a Saviour, all I can do is guide you, and I guess that's why I'm a guide, because I'm a guide. Right, Mesoamerica, obviously this is G Rooster Crane. I think the crane represents the angel in some strange way or another, but it says, this says, unbelievably, shock and surprise, I'm never surprised. Bear in mind, Marco is written right by here as well on this map, and be mailed by there. There we go, folks. Anyway, get your hands up, sign the letter Y, put your palms up, put your sins on there, speak to him, just talk to him directly. Yahweh, his name is, or call him Yah even, but you know, trust me, I'm not wrong with, oh, I can't be wrong. This has got to the point I cannot find anything that every time I think, well, I can't even think there's not a chance of it being correct anymore, because I know this information doesn't come, well, how it gets to me is impossible. And how I put all this together, being uneducated, never been to university, I'm not stupid, I'm switched on, but I'm not this clever. People, times have come, please, 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 please like or at least share the video. Ideally, that would be the best way. Comment if you wish. I mean, be polite. There's no point, you know, and I'm not going to argue with people over anything. I can only show you what's there in code. I don't intend to argue with anyone, but, you know, anybody, you know, I thank those who do comment and those who like it. But again, the most important thing is this is not about me. This is about getting people to know where to go when things go wrong, and I do really truly believe we are getting very close to it, because I wouldn't be shown all this. There's a reason this has all been revealed to me. Anyway, until next time, Yah's blessings.